change the way that I film video. The DJI Pocket 3 has a lot of really interesting features, and I'm trying to experiment more and more with this device, and that's something that I really enjoy about it. To experiment with this camera to see the full capability of everything that it can do. The incredible thing that it's able to do is shoot in different types of ways. So one of them being, if you go on the touch screen and you want to change, for example, the type of recording, you can shoot in D-Log-M 10-bit. What that kind of means is that when you're recording in that setting, you're going to get video quality that's very flat. There's not a lot of color to it. The camera is not going to add, a normal filter to it. But the nice thing about it is that if you are someone who records YouTube videos and you want to add filters to your video or your recordings, it's going to be way easier, and the filters are going to look much better compared to just putting it on top of what a normal, recording would be. All right, so now I'm back to normal, and obviously you can see that the camera decides to add a lot of different things to the device, or to the recording. So a lot more color is on my face. The blues kind of come out a lot more. The greens are very more apparent. You have a lot more of the highlights, the shadows. There's a lot more going on. However, if you are someone who wants to add more to your footage and make it look more either cinematic, make it look more like enhanced, more professional, you're not going to want to shoot in normal settings. Because it's not going to give you that flexibility. And when you try to add filters on top of the regular recording, you're just going to get this very basic kind of look, and it's going to be really difficult to add all of these different filters to it. The nice part about D-Log-M is that there's specific filters that apply to using D-Log-M. So if you use an editor like Wondershare, Filmora, DaVinci Resolve, any type of other recording or editing platforms, they have certain filters that are specifically designed to suit a lot of those filters and recording settings, which is really, really helpful. Now, the DJI Pocket 3 also does include another type of filter, which is incredible. I believe it can shoot in H-Log, and H-Log is a very I would say more flat of a look. It's still pretty good, but the nice part about the DJI Pocket 3 is that with the D-Log 10-bit, of course, D-Log-M 10-bit, you get a lot more of that flexibility, which is really nice. So it's definitely something that is really helpful, really useful, especially if you're just trying to enhance a lot of your footage and not make it look super basic. Quality looks incredible when it comes to this device. Like, I'm not saying that it doesn't look good in any type of way, but I think compared to adding filters and having that better look to it, you're going to have a much more professional, much better looking footage when you add those filters to it as well. So that's something that you're definitely going to want to do when you're using the DJI Pocket 3 device. Different settings that you're able to add is you can do things like adjusting the white balance. You can also adjust the ISO. There's a lot of things that you can do manually with this device. Now, when it comes to video, I don't know if I would prefer to do like a manual mode, just because I think when you're on the go, if you're walking around trying to record video, I think it's going to be way easier to have the camera do most of the work for you. I think it can be kind of it can be a lot of work while you're recording to make sure that your shot looks like correctly exposed. Yes, I do think that it's better to have more freedom when you're using a manual setting, but again, the downside to it is like if you're going into, let's say, a really well lit area, and then for some reason you go into a more darker area, you're going to have to adjust that yourself while you're recording. And the thing is that it's going to be kind of annoying if you're doing a continuous shot. Now, granted, if you're deciding to do a shot where you're gonna, stop the video, go into a different area, adjust, that's fine. But again, I think it's just more like tedious work. I think when it comes to shooting on a camera, a DSLR, it makes sense to use like a manual mode to, have more of that genuine feel of a camera. But I think when it comes to a device like this where you're continuously recording, I don't think that it's personally worth it. So that's why I typically shoot in automatic. And same thing with the focus. So you can choose to have three different focus modes. One is going to be a single focus where it focuses primarily on something or an object that doesn't move a lot. So that's something that I could do right now, which I'm not. There's a continuous mode, so whatever is going on in the screen, it's going to focus on whatever is like closest or what is kind of moving the most in that sense. And then there is a object shot. So what would happen is even if you're moving the camera like really far away, or you're just maybe moving it a lot, you're trying to get like a B-roll shot for a product, it's going to automatically focus on that product, so that way you don't have to worry about it not being focused and not being blurry. It's just going to add a lot more of a professional look to it, so that's a great thing. I think another thing that a lot of people don't know about this device is how you're able to use the analog to control a lot of parts of the camera. So there's two things that you can do with the analog. One is you can allow it to zoom in and zoom out, and then what you could also do is allow it to move the camera, and that can all be done on the right side of the screen using the function where it says the one times button. You can click that and change the different settings. And again, something that I really like about this device in terms of its features is the different types of video modes that you can shoot. So you're able to have functionality where you're able to rotate the gimbal in 180 degrees, have it come back, which can create some really interesting shots. You also can do a 90-degree shot. You can do a stable footage like this. There's even a mode where your camera will continuously move around while it's recording, which that I've never tried that, but that would be an interesting thing to experiment with. You're also able to do lots of things like time lapse. This can take photos, which is another great thing if you're someone who's into photography. I think this may not be the best photography camera, but it's incredible that a device like this is able to do that. You're able to capture some really amazing, I would honestly say night shots using manual modes. And even if you want to just bring this on the go, take a selfie photo with your friends, you have a great camera that you're able to take. Tons of different editing being like that you're able to use, considering that you have all of these features that are available. Not even and then talking about the quality of the video that you're able to take. You can do 4K 60, which is incredible. The fact that, this camera has so many different types of shooting formats, 1080p. It's incredible. So again, there's so many options with this device, which is fantastic. Which I previously mentioned about, there's the facial recognition. So regardless of where your face is, it's going to make sure that it's focusing on that. It's going to follow you. There's motion tracking. So if you're away from the camera, it will track where you are and you'll be able to just move around and the camera will never lose focus of you. There's also some really interesting movements with the gimbal where you're able to have the gimbal kind of flow in different directions, which that's something that I've never tried before. But again, that would be a really interesting shot, I feel like. So yeah, just incredible. This camera definitely is insane. I don't even know what they would do for the DJI Osmo Pocket 4, but when it comes to this device, it is incredible. I just love having it. It is such a cool, unique device. It has changed the way that I film video. It's changed the way that I view cameras and what I expect cameras to be able to do in 2024 while we're recording this. I think that every camera should have the stabilization that this device has and have the options that this camera has. It's what needs to happen. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Again, in the comments down below, if you have any questions about this device, I want to make sure that I can help you in any type of way to answer those questions so that you can get your hands on this device and use it and love it the way that I do. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Bye.